I am a radical evolver, a radical with a revolver. Shit, I'm playing Russian roulette with the remnants of the memories I plan to murder to forget in chronological order. Visions of a daughter with no father. I parallel park my arc with goods I can't barter. See, my halo is filled with yayo in case I perish a martyr tomorrow. Nigga, my city floated in the water. Got dunked like Vince Carter, so now it's rockabye, Wody. My pump is hella retarded. Heavenly genius distorted. My faith is so anorexic. I called God with no reply. He only answered when I texted. Boggle with my perspective. I still snatch like a klepto. Shorty throwing it back, Lord. She got that retro. I'm smoking premium petrol. Habits that I can't let go. Hennessy is a remedy. I medicated my head cold. Where I'm going, I don't know. It's inevitable evolution. I just squeeze the trigger slow. And if I live, revolution. No books in my institution. Mental wars filled with demigods whose screws have been loosened. Not witness the execution. Could have been boosting. My house too translucent for rocks that's mad lucid. I'm just Confucius on some alcoholic juices. Trying to find my religion in this hip-hop music. Holy water. I used to keep these journals, and I remember when I was in elementary school, I was in this English class. My teacher asked us to write a poem, and that's when I kind of realized I was good at poetry, because she entered my poem into like this little contest, and I won. I remember that, you know, like my little joint was in a book. They sent it home, my mom saw it or whatever. And she really ain't believed that I wrote it. I've been a wave a long time. But the poetry really came from just my personal journals. You know, and I was an only child. I didn't have a brother or a sister. And it was always like it was just me. Like the writing was my vent. I never thought about being a rapper, because at that time, the rap that I heard was really just the Hot Boys and stuff like that. And I had lived a different type of lifestyle where I lived in a hood, but I went to certain type of school. So my mental state about music was different. Like I was searching for something else. So the poetry is still in the music today. Like today you can still listen to my music and find like the poetry in it, because it never dies. Good hip hop is poetry. The first spot I performed poetry was probably at, I don't remember the exact location, but the show is called The Brown Sugar Vibe by this chick her name is LaCara Fosa, and I had never really done poetry before. By this time I had started rapping. I was living in Atlanta, you know, so the rapping was a thing, but my rapping was still so poetic till this little shorty I had a little wave with. She introduced me to her, and she was like, "Yo, even though you rap, they don't want no rappers to come up there, but you should come up there and spit your shit. They gonna dig it. Acapella, they gonna dig what you saying, you know what I mean?" And so I went up there and I spit it, and she was like, "Yo, I don't usually mess with rappers, but I want you to come and do your thing." And that kind of had me feeling like, okay, that's a young wave, you know what I mean? But when I knew I was dope with the poetry was when I was young, I think, when I was talking about how they had put my poem in the book when my teacher entered it into the contest. Because all of my other classes, I was kind of like, I was out of place because I was like one of the few black kids in this all-white school, and then I lived in a hood. So it was such a different experience for me. It was hard for me to adjust because I was very young. I was still in like middle school, you know. So when I was doing that, my other classes was falling off, but I would always have an A in English. I would always have an A in literature. And even though I was young, my peers were not in those kind of classes where they were doing poetry. I was at an all-white school, so they were doing poetry, you know what I mean, at that school. And I remember that teacher really changed my life. because I had written so much in my journals, you know, the way that I was able to bring it together. I don't know. She was teaching us poetry, and so that poetry at that age really changed my life. I had to be like 9 or 10 years old. I don't think it's so much an inspiration. I think I just, being the only child, I feed off of the things that be going on around me. It's like I'm a magnet to the energy of the world. And so I'll see something and I have to talk about it. I'll see this happening and I have to talk about it. It's always been like that. But it used to be personal. You know, it used to be a thing that I would just write and it would be for me. It wasn't for other people. And then when I realized, yo, like, the things that I was saying were other people could relate to, is probably what really inspired it, like the healing part of it. Like me saying something somebody else could listen to it and be like, dang, you know, like I can relate to that, or I can feel like that. Because for a long time I thought that I was the only person that felt these things. You know what I mean? Like I thought it was just me. I thought I was alone because I had never heard nobody talk about that kind of stuff. You know, the kind of stuff that I was going through. Oh, Lady Robin Hood. I got a new song called Lady Robin Hood, but like one of my first pieces was called Lady Robin Hood. Yeah.
How'd it go?
Oh, I don't remember it. The memory gone. Car accident, shmur. The party's over. Word. Bye. I hope y'all enjoy that poetical I just did. It's the second joint in my little series, The Book of Ali. Special shout out to Michelle from BetweenWomenTV.com for holding me down. JoJo.com. Shout out to Josta for filming all this. Who else we should know? Black Jesus. Make sure you check me out on BlackDollarX.com. You can check me out on NolaLookAlive.com. All my waves is out here in the world. My series is out. My album is coming out pretty soon. And this is the poetical wave that's going on right now. So I appreciate y'all. Peace.